Alrighty, good morning. We got news coming up, so I figured fuck it. This is the demo of Forex.com, so we'll let it run live. Start off the day cussing, that's good. Alright, so what do we have? Today is 127, January 27th. We're looking at advanced GDP and core durable goods. I honestly don't know. A lot of people are saying Trump's statements might affect this one, and because the numbers are going to be lower than what he wants, it might move, might not, who knows. Forecast isn't very good for it. That's the thing Trump's been jumping up and down about. He wants it at 6%. We're at 3.5 before, which is crawling. We got everything set up here. Let's make sure. Yes, yes. And 828, 830, 828, 830. Good. All right, so we're all set up for news. After news, we're gonna look at the FX Blue Trading Simulator, so that y'all can practice on the weekends if you're that lonely. I know it sounds mean, but it's some people want to practice on the weekend. So we'll take a look at the FX Blue Trading Simulator, how to install it, set it up, and use it. It's pretty straightforward, but some people have some little issues with it. Trying to think what else. And after that, if we have time and I still feel like it, we will go over Renko. Again, I don't recommend using the Renko with the TAPFX system right away. Stick with the 5-minute charts until you get it down on the setups we're looking for. Then we can switch into Renko. But just for the hell of it, because I did show somebody, I told somebody for the Signals group so that they can see how I use Renko. That was for Robin, I believe. Alright, so we got, actually, pending orders already out. Stage 1 is kicked in. Got about 30 seconds. Spread still 1.4, 1.6, so it's holding there. See if it starts to climb up. We got 15 seconds, and I'm not seeing much of a movement on spread, so this may be a flubber. I wasn't expecting too much out of it. I haven't been expecting too much out of these lately at all. It looks like we got a buy out of Euro. Let's see how it runs. And it's already stalling. See, we're not getting any fast movers anymore. UJ's looks like it was doing better. And we get a little profit now. Spreads 2 pips. 1.5 on the spread. So we're barely going to make any profit on this one. And Alt O. Ah, crap, I forgot. There it is. 7.2 pips profit. Which, not great, but at least it's not a loss. Wasn't much. I mean, it slowed down right out of the get-go, so there wasn't too much we could do there on profit for that one. Alright, so let's go ahead and close that puppy down, and let's get to the trading. GBP, JPY going crazy. That's weird, because it's an off pair. It's not really... Because the news was USD related, so that's why I trade USD pairs. The spread on that one, I wouldn't even touch, probably. What's the spread on GBP, JPY? Alright, so let's close that down. USD, JPY, you can see it just tanked. And Euro should have moved up. So they're mirroring. We're going to talk about the trading simulator next. Well, since this was news, I can't do anything trading-wise. Since we had a news release, we can't trade. But we're going to talk about the trading simulator. So this will be... Let me get the link up. Alright. We'll go step by step on this one. God, my nose is super stuffed up. We're cleaning up the backyard. It's Grandma's birthday, and she does not know we're having a surprise party. My daughter's part of the treachery today of getting her here on time. Okay, so if you go to that link I put, it's fxblue.com/app store / you will need to register, but it says FX Blue Trading Simulator V3 for MT4. Word about registration. They do ask for a phone number. Personally, if you can get around it and just do the email verification, do it, because they will call and bug you. They offer a bunch of free apps that are very good, but they also, if they get a hold of your phone number, they will bug you. So just a little warning there. If you have questions at any point through this on what the hell I'm doing, please speak up. You can hit me up on Slack, Skype, or through the Facebook, YouTube. Holy shit. Well, you can hit me up on Facebook under the Trading Axis, but YouTube, the YouTube chat, you can use that. Jesus, I'm a fucking mess already. I think it's the half a cup of coffee. I need a little bit more. Okay, so give me 1 second while I get everything loaded up so I can get in if anyone has questions. Okay, so now from here, what do we need to do? The trading simulator is pretty straightforward. You just, if you just go to FX Blue, you want to click on Apps. When you click on Apps, it's going to come up here. It says Trader Tool, Developer Tools, but actually Featured App is right here. So we just click on the simulator. It says free download, but it says registration required. So it is free. Just click free download. I'm going to log in real quick. What is my passing? And then you hit continue. If you aren't registered, it'll let you register right there. Then you click free download. It's going to download the file for you. It's a zip file. And let's move that over here. We'll open it up. It's pretty easy. It comes with instructions, but I had a few people try it, and for some reason they got a little confused on it, so that's why I'm doing the video. This is the file you need, the FX Blue Trading Simulator V3 for MT4, blah, blah, blah. It's a setup. It is an exe file. It does not need to be copied into MT4. So I'm just going to drag it to my desktop. Now, since like I said, it is an exe. If you have MT4 open at this point, you'd want to go ahead and close it. And just double click this. I already have it installed, so I don't have to. Hit yes. Sorry about the sniffling. Hit I agree. You can see I have a ton, so all I have to do is hit select all, and then click install, and it will install them. If your MT4 is open, it's going to tell you to close it, so you need to make sure MT4 is closed. Hit install. It takes literally 2 or 3 seconds, and then you can open up MT4 again. Does anyone want me to slow down? Because I know I didn't do the install and you have to close and open MT4. So at this point, we'll take a 1-2 minute break. And if there's questions or if you're confused on what to do, let me know and we'll cover it. If not, we'll move on here in a second. If that weren't a news candle and it wasn't such a big candle, we would have had a setup. EU's been hugging since I woke up. EU's been hugging the daily open. UJ was looking prime for a break up, and news killed it. So hopefully it just continues to move back up as the US opens, and we'll get a trade upwards for the guys in the signals group. If not, we'll have to wait for the news to filter out a little bit, and then we'll see if we can pick up a trade or two. Next week we should have a few more trades daily instead of the one. We had some flat shit this week. I am still considering trading Asia for y'all. I'll let you know on Monday about that. but I'm definitely considering it. So if you're in the signals group, then that means you'll need to leave the signals on all the time. Hopefully this pulls right back to up here, and then the market will just continue like news never happened. That would be wonderful. Alright, so that's enough babbling about the signals. Let's go into then. If you look up top, there's something called Strategy Tester. It's Control R, or just hit Strategy Tester. It's a button. Now, I'm going to go through some people have never used Strategy Tester before, so I'm going to go through the settings here before we even go to the EA. If you've never used an EA on your thing, first you're going to go to Tools and Options, Expert Advisors. We're going to do Allow Automated Trading and Allow DLL. Remove all this crap and hit OK. Now, if you're planning on doing some serious frickin' staring at the computer time, if you're in my group right now on charts, I have you set to 5,000. You want to go ahead, max bars in history, and pop that up to the max. Max bars in chart, you can keep where it is, but max bars in history will need to increase it so that you can get more bars downloaded if you're going to backtest. Okay, so the next thing you'd want to do then is go to Tools and History Center, and we're planning on, let's say we're planning on doing GBP. I would go to the 1 minute and just hit download. And all this is going to do is make sure you have enough history in there to actually to be able to run the simulator. And you can see right now it's downloading. It's going to take a minute to do that. Once it's completed, then we'll get into what the settings are down here and how to use them. And if I keep sniffling, sorry. One nose is fine, the other isn't. Alright, so it's completed. We go ahead and hit close. Oh, sorry. Now next, let's go ahead and cover. So the simulator can do two things. It can run an EA, or it can also run an indicator to test it. We're going to be leaving this at Expert Advisor. Now the first thing to the right of that, it's asking you which EA or indicator you want to use. So I'm going to be using the FX Blue Trading Simulator. Below that, you're going to pick the pair you want to use. We'll leave it at USD JPY. Below that, it says model. Every tick the most precise method based on all blah, 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 blah. We want that one. We do not want control points or open prices. This will give you the smoothest modeling. So it won't, if you do just the close prices, it'll look funky when you're trading it. This will actually let you somewhat see a little bit of price action to help you get used to trading. Okay, so use date needs to be checked and visual mode needs to be checked. Now, on the from part, it's going to start off way back in the past. Personally, what I do is I hit today. That brings it up to today. Otherwise, you got to flip through this damn calendar. And let's say we're going to test from January 1st. What is January 1st is a Sunday. Well, we'll do Monday up until today, whatever data is available so far today. Next is visual mode. This little slider will control the speed, which we'll get into once it's running. Okay, so then next is period. This says which time frame do you want to. So if you want to try it on the M1, M5, M15, M30, H1, H4, and daily. I'm going to be doing M5 today. Now spread, I keep it at 2. Reason being, since you're practicing, this will put your spread. For me, this puts my spread slightly higher than it actually is. I gotta sneeze, hold on. Sorry. Guess I really am a mess today. Okay, so anyway, spread. I would keep it at 2. You can put it, if the markets are on, you can put it at current. But personally, I put it at 2 because what does that do? It puts you in the worst possible. If you have a spread higher than 2 pips, you're with the wrong broker. Some of mine, all mine fall in right around lower than 2 or at 2 because I'm using FXCM. They're a US broker and we get dog shit. Just putting that out there. Come on, Trump with Frank Dodd, pull that shit. Anyway, leave the spread at 2, and that helps you. Mainly because you're going to be putting yourself in the worst possible condition while you're learning or practicing. Now, after that's done, none of these we really want to mess with. The open chart, modify, symbol, we're not going to screw with any of that. So we have everything loaded up. What you should see is Expert Advisor, FX Blue Trading Simulator, the pair you want to trade with, every tick, these check marks in, the dates you've selected. Now, if when you hit start, nothing happens. It's because you don't have enough data to support the date range you selected. So if I picked, let's say, 1 January 1st, 2016, and hit start and it didn't work, that means my MT4 probably didn't download data that far back. Remember, there is a limit on how far back data can be downloaded. So don't get, bring it up a little bit, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Make it a shorter time period. And the rest is visual mode with the slider there. Now when we hit start, it's something that's going to happen. So we hit start, the first thing that's going to happen is this is going to pop up. We do not want to do anything. Sit and wait. And eventually it should take it. Every now and then this thing is quirky, but we'll see. Okay, there we go. See how it took a little bit? Basically what it's doing is it's going out and it's talking to the FX Blue website and saying, hey, he's going to run a simulator. The reason being is it will record analytics for you so you can go back and review your trades. Outside of MT4, over on the FX Blue site, you can actually look. Well, it'll give you analytics here. Now, it says simulator paused on mine. If this is your first time doing it, it's going to ask you to log in with your username and password, and then it'll say simulator paused. So if anyone's doing this live with me, I'll go ahead and give you a chance to type in your username password. Before we get going, I am actually going to take maybe 2-3 minute break. I am going to go blow my nose because I keep sniffling in everyone's ears. So give me 2-3 minutes, go blow my nose real quick. I know that sounds disgusting, but sorry. Don't do anything, leave it at simulator paused once you get there. And next we're going to show you what to do. And I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Cat wanted in, so it took longer than I thought. Alright, so does anyone have any questions before we get going with the next step? Okay, so a few things that the simulator cannot do Rinko. Running Rinko backtests or running Rinko simulations is an evil, evil thing, and it's so complicated to set up and do that I'm not even going to bother covering it. Oh, my coffee's getting cold. That's not a good thing. Alright, so the next thing you want to do, simulator paused. We're going to right click. We're going to go to template. This is where you load up your template. A few things. You want your template perfect because once the template is loaded in, you can't add and remove things as it's running. It just doesn't let you. So just that's something to keep in mind. Make sure your template is set up perfect so you don't got to worry about it. It might take you a few tries to get it dialed in on how you want it to look because from live, and there are a few indicators that will not work with this live, that do work live, but for the most part almost everything will work with it. So let's go to here. I'm going to load up my template. Here's my handy dandy template I use when I'm trading. And simulator paused. Once your template's loaded up, just make sure it looks good, and let's click. Now, see how it's moving kind of fast? We can slow it down here. And you see how it's missing a few? This was the open. It always opens up at midnight for the day, so it's always kind of crap. I'm going to go ahead and pop it up a little. And we'll talk about what you can do. I'll just let this run as we go. Okay, so over here we have settings. This is stop loss, take profit. This is the amount of lots you want to do, and a trailing stop. The trailing stop kicks in immediate. It's not one of those in-profit trailing stops, so that's up to you. You do have additional settings in here where you can... let me see if I can make this bigger. Nope, I guess I can't. It does some small things like confirm, and confirm close for all orders. Personally, I don't use any of those, but it's up to you. Again, a lot of this is in the PDF. Auto tasks I've never looked at. Nope, none. Okay, so what we'd be doing then, let's speed this up a little bit. The candle timer does work somewhat with this. And we can see it's running it's not running super fast, but it is running pretty fast. These are 5-minute candles, and you can see how quick it's blowing through them. So let's slow it down just a tiny bit. And if we do a buy, sometimes there is a delay on it, but when you hit buy, what you'll see is here's take profit, here's stop loss, and here's our buy. So it placed it with a 15 pip take profit, 15 pip stop loss, and you're in your trade. Now let's say, well, there's my trade, and when it hits up here, this is my goal. You can see here, it's how much it's in profit. Here's your close order button, and it tells you how far away it is from the take profit and stop loss. If it hits it, it's going to be a $39 in profit trade. And so if you want to close the order, bam, it's closed. It marks the trade on there for you. See the little blue was a buy, and there was the close. So let's take one more. And what else can you do? Well, let's say this is your stop loss, but you actually want it to be on the swing low. If you see the button, if you hold the red, doesn't do anything. But you see how there's a slider now? We can move it up. So you can actually dial in just like you actually trade. And let's say, okay, it's in profit. I want to close that order. And if you look, this was an actual setup. The markets don't look very nice, but that was an actual setup for you. And it's just now hitting. That would have been the target right there to get out on. So as it hit it, that's where you'd want to exit. So it's pretty simple to use. It does let you can load up trading access on it. You can load up any template you want on this and use it. So if you want to practice binary options, knock yourself out. If you want to practice Forex, knock yourself out. You can do any time frame you want. So it's very nice, easy to use. Why is this is weird. The fucking Microsoft updates and now OneDrive wants to open up. They're getting to be such shitheads. by sticking shit in you don't want. I don't want OneDrive open, no. Okay, so do we have any questions on the simulator? It's pretty straightforward, easy to use. Lets you play around on the weekends if you're bored, and practice. So far I'm seeing 0 questions. Give it another minute before questions, and we'll move on to the next. Robin had a question about stop losses and Rinko. And we'll get into that. Alright, so I guess there's no questions on the simulator. So how do we close it? All you have to do is hit stop, and that's done. It tells you your net profit. You can click the analyze button. Sorry. Now what that does, wait for it to load up and then I'll bring it. When you hit the analyze button, a website pops open. And here is the information about all your trades. And you can go by symbol, analysis chart. You can pick what you want, gross profit, draw a chart. We didn't do anything fancy here, so. But basically, it lets you run all these things so you can check out what you think about your system that you're testing, or your, I guess you could say, how you trade. It gives you quite a bit of information, so. Pretty easy. Alright, let's close that. Now, to close it, all you have to do is right-click the chart here and hit close. That'll bring you back, then we can close, and we're back to our normal charts. So pretty easy. Again, all that is available through the strategy tester, which is Control R, or it's the little button up top here. I'm trying to think. Okay, so next we'll take a look. We did have questions on Rinko. This is going to look really funky, but let's do File, New Chart. We'll do Euro USD, 1 minute it, template. Oh my god, really? I just told you I did not want to. Oh, I hate these Windows updates now. So I'm going to load up a Rinko chart real quick, open offline. It's so annoying. What did I do? Oh, here it is. Euro USD M2. Let's get rid of one thing. Delete, close. And let's get these in order so I don't go nuts. Change these to candles. They are candles. I'm just zoomed out so far. Here, let me fix these so they're red and green. Alright, so this is a 1 minute chart, which you have to have running. This is Euro USD. And God, I'm still out of order. There we go. So this is the Rinko chart. So we're going to go over, and right now it's extremely fast, so let's zoom out a little, see if we can... Okay, so the first thing I was talking about, and again, I'm going to do a more in-depth one on this, but this is just quick to cover for a request. I said you could use Rinko to, how would you say it, control the pace of your trading and to force more or less trades. It's the same rules as the other one. We're looking for a break. Like here, it broke down, then it pulled up, broke down again. It's the same exact setups we're looking for on Rinko, but Rinko is a little bit faster paced, and a lot of times, like all this right here, we couldn't have got in. So let's review what we have on the chart. And again, this is just a review. I still recommend you stick to the 5 minute for now until you learn this, and then you could jump into the 1 minute with Rinko. Alright, so Rinko time tells us how long it takes for a Rinko bar to form, because Rinko doesn't look at time, it looks at movement. But by using Rinko time, it helps us basically know the pace of the market. Down here is 1 minute, 5 minute, and it actually goes up to 30 minutes. You can adjust it in the indicator if you want to show more than 30 minutes if you're going to be trading a higher time frame, but meh. We got our squiggly line there, same as before, and the BB stop. So red, red. Now, one of the other things you'll notice is it's not as consistent down here. So you have to just look, okay, this was green, and it doesn't draw. This indicator wasn't designed for Rinko, and I have not been able to figure out why, but it does not draw properly in between here and here and continuously fill with green. But there was our gray, which was a no trade zone, which is gray all the way to here, and then it went red, and then we're red down, and we go green up. So you still want everything to match up, just like before. Nothing's changed there on your setups of what we want to do. Okay, so for instance, let's look right now. What do we have setting up? We have the possibility that it's coming up and going to break through here. What we're looking at then is it's still taking about a minute or less to form these. So that's good. Our pace is set nice. If we look over on the 1 minute, if it breaks higher, yes, it has room to run up to there and there. So I don't have signals on, do I? No, I don't. Good. So it closed up. We could go ahead and take our trade. Now, here's our previous swing low. So immediately what we would want to do, let's bring it up to it. Close it in. And this already became, we were green. So it already had a bit of a run up, so it might pull back. Now, if you're being really picky, you could wait for it to run up, pull back, and then get in again. But we're just going to grab it and go. We know that right now the markets are moving, so this will give you something to see. Now, as our target is, here will be our first one. And if we see it stalling out here, we might want to jump out. But our real target is up here. So we'd watch for signs of it stalling out. Like if it looks like it's going to hit a huge rejection off there, we might want to hop out. So we have two targets. And here it hits. Let's see what it does. And let's say we wanted to be safe, we could go ahead and close it. 3.6 pips. Nothing great, but remember, we're on Rinko, so these are quick in and outs. And if you're really bored, if it closed above it, you could jump in one more time. I wouldn't recommend doing it that way, but you could. We'd want to see how it didn't clear above it. We'd want it to clear above it. We'll see what happens here. So again, we could bring our stop loss up here to the previous swing. There was the little pullback we wanted. That's what we should have waited on, but just trying to get this in. Now I'm going to show you how to slow the market down after this. So we can see right now, this is optimal settings. This is what we want. You see how quickly we were able to look at a chart, get in a trade, get out. Hopefully we can get in this trade and get out. What I could do, just to make it simple, let's drop that there. It has not closed above this one yet, so that's what it's trying to push through. Now here's a little bit that's going to come into the stop loss, Robin, if you're watching this. So if I get two down, that's when I'm getting ready to close it, because I want these quick runs up. I can see on average it's dropping 3, but it's not pushing through here. It's being held. So we're still 2 down. So what I guess I'm trying to explain, Robin, that the 10 pip stop loss I put in it's like a failsafe. I manually watch these trades. What I'm doing on the screen right now is what I do when I send signals out for y'all. So hopefully that answers your question. Now, what we could also do is once it closes above this, we'll drag this in up to here. And we could already do it. Here. If I could get it. So we leave it about a pip below. Right here we can use the bottom of this candle. And there's our stop loss. So now we've already tightened it up, what, 2 times? And if it hits down there, it hits down there. Big wheel. We've already cut it out so it's not a 10 pip loss. Spread's about 1.3. We're still moving nicely. See how it keeps stalling here? And we'll probably get a close out of this. Next, we're going to show how to slow it down. So if you're on the charts and this is moving entirely too fast for you, or if you're looking for a higher profit margin, because right now these are short in and out trades, 3 to 6 pips with a 10 pip initial entry. And there we go, closed. Okay, so you're like, shit, this is moving too fast for me, because look, every one of these candles is forming in less than a minute. If you're learning this, I recommend slowing it down, and then once you get the hang of it, speed it up to the point where you can barely keep up with the system. It's an easy way to force repetition. So let's go over here. So what can we do to slow it down? So here's our chart that's controlling it. I'm running 1 pip Rinko boxes. That's why it's so fast. And you're like, that shit is too fast for me. So let's switch it to 3 pip. All you got to do then, let it load. Bam. Jump over. Now, if you look, it's taking, this whole section here was over. These are all 30-minute candles. These are some below 1 minute, but you can see how we've slowed it down. We're starting to see 1 to 5 minute candles. So this gives you the opportunity to actually take a look and say, you know, I'm not getting in it. But as we can see, that little trade we got into is now vanished because it's now up here. And see our support and resist are, well, it does show it here, but the charts have kind of redrawn. We've forced the charts to redraw to slow things down, but your moves will be a little bigger. Remember, this whole move up here had a couple pullbacks in it. Those pullbacks are gone. So this run up here, if you jumped in here, we would have gotten, if you took it up to resist, it was a 14 pip run. So it will increase, how am I explaining this? It'll increase how many pips you can pull, but it also lessen the amount of setups you have. So once you become proficient, it's going to be up to you to decide what size Rinko boxes you want and what speed you want to deal with. But until then, I mean, if you wanted to go ape shit, and I think this will work, we could do, let's see, so 10. If we do 5, that's a half a pip. Let's see if it'll do it. Now this should be moving like crazy. So this, if you wanted to get in and really do some high-paced, fast-paced trading, this is it for you. Because look, bam, you already had a setup in. So we could do buy. But remember, we're doing half pip. See how fast it's moving? And out at 4.6. So you can use Rinko to force a very rapid training, I guess you could say, regime for yourself, if that makes sense. Because the setups are going to be the same no matter what. Here was our resist. When it closed above the resist, we jumped in. Does everyone understand that? Any questions on how you can use Rinko to force? I mean, you can make it fun. You can really force out some craziness. So here's our pullback. Here it is. Oh, shut up, kitty. He wants back out. He's a little whore. He comes in and eats and then leaves. So it didn't break our previous resist, so we're not taking it. Moving average is now switched. Now we're looking downwards. We're in a sell condition. There's our first pullback. If it breaks below it, what can we do? So I'm going to pause real quick and toss the cat out on his ass because he ate, now he wants back out. And we're back. So if we watch, this was a setup. Bam, broke up. Moving averages lined up. We were green across the board. Remember, our take profits, we're running half a pip to force this thing to just fly, is going to be very small, of course. And my hotkeys still don't work. I need to fix those for next week's video, because if you're doing it this way, I would say clicking is almost impossible. You definitely want to use a hotkey. And you can see it's building. Let's zoom in a little, because I'm sure this shit's tiny for you. We took it somewhere around here. Fuck if I know. But out, looks like it's gone into a mini range. Remember, this is tiny amounts of pips. So let's close that. And we could pull the stop loss in to, say, slightly below the range right here where this previous resist was. Now we have a tight stop loss running. It's very good training because it's fast paced. And if you can become profitable like this on a little bit higher time frame, if you slow it down a tiny bit, you're going to do excellent. But this is going to get you enough repetition. Now if we look, we're red, red. Personally, I would close it because we're in conflict. The euro is still stronger, though. And it closed. But we have red, red. Euro is blue. It's weaker. USD is stronger, so we could do a sell. Remember, this is our entry would have been this candle here. And since we're looking at tiny little profits, we're not doing anything crazy here. What we do, so we immediately, and there's our stop loss drug in already. Again, this isn't your optimal way to trade, but it's good for practice. Now, once you can identify the setups, we can slow it down and move into something that would actually be profitable. But we can see right now, you should notice already that we're braiding. Price has gone up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, so let's slow it down. Let's close everything. Where is the trade? Oh, no, no. There we, well, it closed itself. Thank you. Alright, so going that small does have its drawbacks. Let's do 115. Personally, this is my favorite. It's fast enough where it keeps me busy, but it's not that slow. So this would have been an entry, and we could see it move up. Now, if we wanted to be safe about it, let's see if it bounces off this. If we get a green candle now, because it nearly bounced, and that would be like a mini pullback. Let's wait for it. Now, if we don't get a green candle out of this, we probably don't want to jump in. But this is 1.5 pips. For me, that's a nice pace for me. I actually enjoyed trading it this way because I get bored. 5 minute is extremely aggravating for me. But because it feels so paced. After you get used to trading this way, the 5 minute will feel slow paced for you. Hell, the 1 minute will feel slow paced sometimes. Do we have any questions so far? On the simulator, or anything? If not, I don't have much else. I have one coaching today, so I'll probably end up doing that in about 15 minutes. We'll go live with signals in about 15 also, so I can do both. We have 15 minutes to the bell, so remember, this is about your sit and watch time. This is Euro, and look, here's Euro also. So here's Euro, and Euro. Okay, well, if there's no questions, we'll go ahead and wrap it up with that. Next week, we are going to show hotkeys, how to use, like I use Alt-C to close, Alt-B to buy, Alt-S to sell. Mine aren't working currently, so I need to get those fixed. I know that sounds real great if I'm going to show you and mine aren't working. Something happened when the new MT4 build popped in. You know how you open up MT4, then it closes? That means there was an update on it. And there was an update, but I did not see the build number change, I don't believe. Oops, I wanted about... Oh, it is 10:31 now. It was 10:10. Guess I missed that. Yeah, so something happened with the build. That my scripts went... But any questions at all? News pulled in 9.7. Did anyone do better than 9.7 pips off of Euro on news? Let's go ahead and shut down Rinko for today, because I want to be able to match up other people's. I'm going to make some coffee, bell, coaching, and some signals, hopefully. Remember, it is Friday. Friday market pretty much just dies out early. By the time lunch hits, we're done. There's no point in trading after it. And that's advice for everyone, binary options or Forex. Alrighty then. Looks like we are done. If you have questions, I will be around for a bit. I gotta make sure I get everything ready for Grandma's surprise party, and then I have to coach my daughter on how to lie to Grandma after she gets out of school. That'll be wonderful. I'm gonna use my daughter to keep Grandma busy, so that we can get everything set up at her house, so when she comes back, it's a surprise. Alright guys, gals, that's it for today. Please hit me up with any questions, comments, concerns, and that's it. Signals, hopefully we'll get one or two today. We'll see. Next week I think it'll be a little better. I was a bit worried because of Trump with all his goddamn executive orders this week. Only one of them actually moved the market, but I was a little concerned about it. But other than that, screw him. But enjoy all. That'll be it for today.